There we go. Now we can go live, Josh. Anyway, everybody, welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Mel Hellman Ford Racing. And we're live at PRI again. We're round number 5, and we have LeVar Scott with us.
Yes,
Another
sir.
2024 Who's Your Hero Drivers. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's a pretty cool program to be a part of. I'm happy I got chosen for it.
Well, yeah, it's you're in a pretty cool class of people so far. We've met everybody and something that's pretty awesome. So,
Thank you.
ARCA Racer.
Yes, sir.
Very cool. I'm jealous.
sir.
I can tell you that. Okay.
No reason to be jealous.
Oh, yeah, there is. I'm not driving one, and you are. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, LeVar, tell us about your career. Tell you how you got started, where you're at, and what's going on. We'll talk about 2024. But tell us how you got all the way to ARCA, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I actually grew up in a racing family. My grandfather drag raced, my mother drag raced, and it's kind of what they did. And when I was younger, my brother, he's 2 years older than me. So when he was 5 and I was 3 years old, he started dirt racing, little quarter midgets in Delaware. And obviously he's my brother, so I was trying to copy his path and his trajectory. So I started racing dirt quarter midgets and kind of just progressed.
So you started in dirt, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Love that too.
Started in dirt. I did quarter midgets for about 5 years and moved into a 125cc micro sprint and raced that for a little bit. And then finally got into the 600cc micro sprints around Delaware and Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and came to Millbridge a few times, ran that track sometimes.
Those things are fast.
Yeah, they're really cool. I think that kind of helped my racecraft a lot and kind of slowing everything I raced down because obviously I think the dirt stuff, everything happens so fast.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's people throwing slide jobs on you. They're running the high line, bottom line. It's just cars all around you. So when I race other stuff, I can kind of slow stuff down and be more prepared because of that, I think.
So what's the most fun part of racing for you? And I know it's winning. I get that. But what else is so fun, the thrill or whatever of racing?
I think moving around a lot, finding grip, finding where your car obviously works at and is fast at is probably the fun thing for me. I remember at Kansas, we started running the bottom for the first 15 laps, and as your tires start to wear out, you kind of move up and then kind of move up to the wall. And once you start running the wall, it's fun from there. You can just find out what works for you. So I think that's probably the favorite part for me is just finding where your car really works out on the track. Every track's different. So,
well, cool. So what's some highlights of 2023 that you had?
Yep.
Kind of thing too.
So my biggest highlight, I think, was we led a lot of laps at Daytona. We finished 4th there.
4th, all right.
That's
cool.
We got hung out on the last lap and didn't get the win. But I think obviously everybody knows Daytona and it's Daytona 500, so it's such a big race. And growing up, that's all you hear about that a lot. So to say I led laps there is really cool to say. And everywhere we went, we had pretty decent speed. I think we should have won Kansas, but then pit strategy messed up.
Yeah.
But we had a really good season. I think every track can kind of take away stuff that was fun and happy about.
Exactly. So how long have you been running ARCA?
So this is my second year. ARCA,
this will be the second year?
2023 was my first year. I ran ARCA East, and then this is my first year running ARCA National. So I'm pretty excited for it.
So how many races will that be?
20 races, a 20 race schedule.
20 race schedule, okay.
Last year we had 8 races, but I got to add 2 more. I did Kansas, I did Phoenix, and Daytona. So I added 3 more actually, but this year everything was all together.
So you'll be back at Kansas again. That's where we're from, is Kansas.
Really?
Okay? Yeah.
Really? It's a beautiful track.
It is a great track.
Beautiful track.
I remember when they first talked about building that track, I said, that's not going to happen in Kansas. Well, guess what? It did. It's there. And
it did.
Been there a lot of years for that part, too. So we'll have to come root you on and stuff where you're in Kansas.
Please do. Number 6 Chevrolet.
Yeah.
We'll come hang out.
Number 6
Yes,
Chevrolet.
sir.
At least it's not a Toyota.
No.
Anyway, so we kind of know your short-term plan for 2023.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 2024. What's your long-term plans?
Yep. So right now, I think a lot of that is going to determine on this year. If I have a really good year, my plan for this year is just to dominate, get a championship, and get a lot of wins. But if I do that, I really want to get into a truck in 2025, or at least make some truck starts. A lot of truck starts. I think that's kind of the plan for me. And then 26, kind of got to see. Honestly, in racing, you have to see where you're at with funding. You have to see where you're at with what you're doing now. So it's. In this world, it's so hard to say what you plan out for yourself because you kind of have to have everything ready to move up to the next level. But if it were up to me, I want to be full-time truck racing in 25, and then obviously maybe another year in that or go to Xfinity races, but definitely keep making the leap.
So do you have to do truck and then Xfinity? Can you go from ARCA to Xfinity?
No, you can jump. I mean, if you have the necessary resources to make that move, you can do that. I mean, there was a guy this year that was ARCA champion. Now he's running full-time Xfinity now. Yep. So, I mean, if you have the resources to make that move and you think you're ready, it's pretty cool.
Okay, so how did you had to do something to get the backing, right?
Yeah. Yep. So, no, for me personally, NASCAR Draft Diversity and Max Siegel, they've been backing me for the past 5 years to kind of helping me get my start and get my feet wet and trying to learn the asphalt world and NASCAR world. And then once I have the funding for myself and have the readiness to move up, it's all on me. But they've been helping my career for the past 5 years, and it means so much what they do for me.
I bet it does. So a 20 race schedule. So how many cars will it take to make that 20 race schedule?
What do you mean? How many cars?
I mean, you just have one car to race all 20
No,
races?
so we have different cars. We have move around. I think last year I was in 3 different cars, and that was for the 8 race schedule. So I know, but this year I'm not imagine we have a mile and a half car, we have a super speedway car, and a short track program car, and a race road course car. So I think probably going to move around from 4 to 5 cars.
4 to 5 cars.
Backup stuff if we hopefully we don't need it.
So what's the shortest track you run on? I know you guys run Daytona and Phoenix and Kansas. mile and a half, 2.5 miles.
Yep.
What's the? Do you do any short track racing?
So last year I did Flat Rock, which was I don't know how short the track was, but I remember I didn't get past half throttle the whole race. I mean,
really?
It was a short track, but it was for good racing.
Half throttle.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't touch 3/4 nothing. It was just half throttle the whole race.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was like 100.
Was it racy?
Yeah, we actually was racing around a lot, and there was a lot of lap traffic, so everybody was moving around, and you can make 3 wide passes to get past the car. So it was honestly a really cool track.
Good.
Okay,
cool.
So Daytona, is that your biggest? Have you run Talladega or Pocono or?
So
Not yet.
I simmed Pocono and the Chevy sim, but I got to race Daytona. I haven't got to race Talladega yet, but I know I can take a lot of similarities from Daytona to Talladega.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. So favorite track in ARCA. Let's do that because everybody's got their other favorite track. But in ARCA, what's your favorite track so far?
It would have to be probably, honestly, Kansas. I mean, I love driving the wall, riding the wall. I mean, that's so fun. Just being up on the wall and making lap time is so cool to me. So right now, probably Kansas.
Yeah, they've done a pretty good job making that pretty racy place.
It's racy. I mean, you have to move around and can't be in someone's dirty air. So it's really cool racing.
Yeah, I've drove the Richard Petty deal at Kansas twice. Rode with a professional driver a couple times. So I don't like that track. I drove down at Texas too, and I drove at Las Vegas too.
That's awesome
from that part. So yeah, that's why I'm jealous that you're in a car and I'm not.
Yeah,
that would be if I could back my years up. And of course, back then you never know what you thought and everything else too. But I'd love to have been on some kind of path that you're headed down. Every time I've drove those NASCARs or whatever, I mean, it's just a heyday. It's so much fun and everything else too.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of work. So what do you do to prep for a race? Because I bet you have to. Are you working out, eating right, doing all that stuff? What happens there?
So honestly, throughout the whole year, I mean, every year I try to work out consistently. I mean, probably once a day or at least get 5 workouts in a week. That's probably minimum for me. I work out that's like very, very serious for me. And then on the flip side of that, I mean, Daytona, I do a lot of studying for that. I mean, it's a whole different form of racing. It's very Daytona and Talladega. It's hard to honestly describe it. Yeah,
it's mental.
The way I can describe it is everybody can drive the track, but to learn the race inside of it and the racecraft of it, and when to move down and when the lane has energy or when to move high, it's a whole form of racing that I'm trying to learn, and I'm studying for it. But after that, we have Phoenix, which is different. You can't be in dirty air. Everything's different. ARCA series. That's why I love it. You're moving around a lot.
Now I love Phoenix. I've been to Phoenix to watch, and that's another cool place to watch. And of course, there's not a bad track, I don't think, to watch NASCAR.
No,
where you go from that part. I've been to quite a few of the tracks and stuff too, but still, my favorite is Bristol.
Yeah.
Have you been there yet?
I raced at Bristol, and it is definitely hard on the body. And for me, it was probably a little harder than most because I had a right rear shock mount that broke. So every time I entered the corner, the car was loose, so I had to catch it. Bristol was tough. And it's a good workout. You need to be in shape to run well there.
I bet stuff happens fast going around that place, man.
Really fast. I mean, qualifying was insane. I mean, you're driving deep, you get off for a second and back on it, and you just hope the car's pointed right. We don't hit the wall on exit, but it's definitely a fun track.
Oh yeah, exactly. So what's the hardest? You sound like maybe Bristol was your hardest track to run at, but
I mean, no track. I mean, every track has its difficulties. I don't like to say a track's hard because I feel like if you work hard enough and
you got to learn it
and study. I mean, everywhere you go, I want to learn and dominate. So I don't want to say a track's hard. I mean, every track is different that you have to learn and kind of master. But every track's different in different ways. But if you work hard enough, you'll be able to master it, I think.
Well, cool. Well, anyway, excited for you. It's fun meeting all you guys and ladies, I should say too.
Yeah.
Through these interview process and stuff. And it's going to be fun to follow you now that we know you and have been face to face and everything else like that and meet you stuff. But just glad to be a part of Hoosier. And of course, in the ARCA series, you're running a Hoosier made tire, but it's a general tire.
Yes, sir.
Is what you run and stuff like that too. So it's going to be fun to watch you grow. And who knows if we're going to be around on Kansas. Nick and I run with my son on a dirt car and stuff racing. So who knows what we'd be able to. I'd love to go to Kansas because it's close for one.
We go there twice this year, so gotta be there.
Maybe there'll be one of them come watch and reach you.
That'd be awesome.
We'll have to plan our schedule around going to at least one of them. So
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So Nick, what else we got for LeVar here.
Man, just want to thank you for everything you've done for Hoosier, man.
Yes,
Your career path is incredible.
Thank you very
we're
much.
really
It really
proud
means
to
a
be
lot.
sitting here talking to you. Great brand ambassador and everything else. But, man, I just can't wait to see where you go and just excited for you and happy for you.
Thank
and
you
it's
so much.
It's neat, man.
Thank you
It's
so much. That means a lot, man.
All right, you need to thank anybody that helps you getting up and down the highway and everything else every week.
My mother, she does it all for me.
Does she?
Travels everywhere. She has not ever missed a race, no matter where we're at. We
That's
could be
cool.
in Brazil racing. She's going to find a way to be there. So
I get
Well,
it.
you know, if you
Definitely
got
her.
mama on board, you can do about anything you want, you know?
definitely.
Yeah. So how can people follow you too?
So my Instagram is LeVar.Scott34. Through Rev Racing, Instagram for that is Rev Racing. Twitter is LeVar Scott. Facebook's LeVar Scott. And
Okay.
now excited for Hoosier Hero. Follow me through Hoosier too.
Awesome.
Exactly. So, LeVar, again, thank you for spending some time with us.
Thank you.
Congratulations on being a 2024 hero. We'll be rooting for you out there.
Thank you so much, man.
Thanks again, buddy. Everybody, stay tuned. We got a
Thanks,
couple
bud.
more to go. Stick you back to you about 30, 45 minutes. Talk to you soon.